Not Worth the Time with Wade Taylor. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Not Worth the Time. We're here. We're doing it. It's been another fantastic couple weeks. I hope you're doing great. Hope you're starting your fall off right. Hopefully your responsibilities aren't weighing you down too much. Hopefully you're just enjoying things, the start of the fall season right into September. I hope you're enjoying your Labor Day. Yeah, I'm recording this on Labor Day, and you guys wouldn't be listening to this on Labor Day. I hope not anyway. Go fucking do something fun. You know, go celebrate this weirdly named holiday because this is the one time of year we don't go to work on Labor Day. But thank God those rail workers got Grover Cleveland real scared and made us have a holiday, you know? It's very inspiring what those guys did. Very inspiring. It's like we should, you know, maybe do a reminder of that. Oh, man. Hope you guys have been having a good one. I've been having a lot of fun recently. We got a new puppy. I've been taking care of her, trying to teach her stuff. That's a tall task, raising a puppy. I've had puppies before, but all the puppies I've ever had are when I was growing up. So my parents were the ones really training them. I just got to play with a puppy whenever it was in a good mood. You know, like I tried to like help take it and take them out and show them how to use the bathroom and whatnot, but it's tough, you know. And now it's just, you know, I'm just trying to be a gentle parent. I don't want to hit the puppy. Nobody wants to hit a puppy. That's terrible. If you do, I'm going to hit you. If I ever saw somebody, like, striking a puppy, like, there's a difference between a little tap and then a fucking hit. I'm going to swing on you. I'm gonna destroy you as a person if I ever saw you hit a puppy. That would be terrible. Okay? It's not cool. We're trying to, you know, find out little tips and tricks, you know, to make sure she's behaving properly, instilling the good naturedness of a puppy. It's tough. You got to reinforce good behavior but discipline bad behavior. It's a tough task, you know. Then you got to distract them so they're not being, you know, unruly, being wild. You don't want her just going wild throughout the house, acting like a savage, you know. You got to reel her in, you know, reel her in. Put her in a good mood. That's why we started turning on Bluey. We just treat her like a toddler, okay? Apparently all the toddlers from all of my friends' kids, that's what I've heard from them, is just put on Bluey and the kids just go ape shit for it and they just watch it. And weird enough, so do dogs. Every time you turn that on, she hears that theme song and just sits down and starts head tilting. And she is infatuated with that theme song. Something about harmonicas and dogs. They go ape shit for a harmonica. So, I mean, either put on Bluey or start learning how to play the blues on a harmonica. Maybe that'll hypnotize your dog. That's like the snake charmer instrument for dogs. Instead of a flute, you're using a harmonica. And then your dog howls. Is that why every harmonica album has a dog howling in it at some point? It's not the fact that they wanted it there or as an artistic choice. It's just that the dog has no other choice but to howl during a harmonica solo. You hear a wolf or a dog howl in the background, howling at the moon while you hit that harmonica solo. The only time there isn't a dog howling during a harmonica solo is when you hear Blues Traveler. Because the hook will bring you back. You don't need a dog howling. That's how the dogs even understood, like, we don't howl during Blues Traveler. This guy's making a statement on the music industry. You respect that. And that's why dogs respect Blues Travelers. Yeah, but been putting on Bluey. I can't believe it. She loves watching it. And I'll tell you what, I didn't want to believe my friends when they told me this, but all my friends with kids who have watched Bluey basically in its entirety tried telling me, dude, it's a great show though. It's a really good one. There's actually little underlying plots. Eventually storylines start happening. And you're like, what? Storylines start happening. Yeah, they have some stuff in there for the adults for sure. And it's a really fun show. I'll say this. Watching it, me and my wife, we've just had it on. The puppy calms down for whatever reason when that show's on. I don't even know if it's really the show or just the time we happen to put it on. Causation doesn't equal correlation, right? But whenever we put it on, she's a little more zen, so that's nice. But we've noticed a change in ourselves. And we've just been watching. We've been so much more pleasant this week. We've had a good time. We've just been like, have you noticed you felt better recently? I'm like, yeah, I have. And my wife was like, I think it's because we've been watching Bluey, just watching nothing but a positive, good cartoon show. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's mandatory that adults need to sit down and watch children's cartoons like that and get reminded on how to act in society and maybe how to act like civil adults and talk out their problems and, share and communicate and play well with others. I think we all need that reminder. I'm pretty sure Australian TV somehow figured out how to talk to children and adults at the same time and to be like, hey, get together. Stop acting like fucking real people, okay? Stop acting like a bunch of dickheads and listen to the... Oh, sorry, it's Australian. Quit acting like a bunch of dickheads and start, be behaving. Listen to these talking dogs. They'll put you on the right and narrow. Put you on the straight and narrow. These talking dogs, they know what out. They play well. They use their imagination, and they have a good time. I think that's really the goal of what Bluey is it's not only trying to teach children, it's trying to teach adults. Fucking behave yourselves, guys. So, but yeah, it's put me in a good mood. I mean, if you're tired of watching the news or you watch one too many murder docs and you need a really good palate cleanser and a positive outlook on life, throw on some Bluey, I guess. That's my tip of the day. And shout out to the Sasses. Shout out to Nina and Dylan because they're the ones who originally turned me on to Bluey. And we're like, no, our kids love it. And I'm be honest, I get pretty stoked when new episodes come out. They loved it. So shout out to them. Thanks for the tip. Not only works on kids, works on dogs. So everybody check it out, I guess. It's been nice. It's been nice having a nice positive new outlook, I feel like this week. I've been doing a lot better with the positivity. I've been looking for extra positives, because this fall's starting. Fall's starting. Everybody is stoked because that means football season's back. And of course, I'm stoked about football season. You guys don't have to know about that. Go State, by the way. 2-0. Let's go. We're starting off the year strong. Going for that Big 12 title. Let's fucking go. I love that football's back. But the most underrated part about fall, especially once it gets just below 70, right into that 60-degree weather. It's just starting to cool off enough. Frosted in the morning. No more bugs. No more bugs, everybody. We're getting there. It's close. The time is coming. It's right around the corner where you get to wear sweatshirts and there's no bugs anywhere. Oh, my God. It's going to be glorious. Glorious. I can't wait for there not to be bugs. It's crazy, man. The mosquitoes around my area have been horrible this year. It's so bad that I had a mosquito get trapped in my car the other day. And from the mosquito perspective, that seems like heaven, right? That's at least 2 square meals a day if you can sneak up on me while I'm driving. I got nowhere to go. You got your food trapped in there. He thought he was smart and was using the car as a trap, okay? He got in there, and that was his crab cage. He caught me in there. He was feasting like a king crab. He was endless buffet of blood, okay? He thought he had it all figured out. It sounds like a great idea to a mosquito, right? Until you realize you're cut off from the outside world. You're in biodome for insects, okay? You can't do anything else. Now, to be fair, there also might be a predator in there. I've had a spider in my car. I think everybody at some point has had a spider in their car. And you know what? I used to look down on it, but ever since I got that mosquito or a couple bugs that were flying around in there, kind of welcome the spider. I hope that I just try to direct them underneath my seat to where maybe the cobwebs are, and would get caught, and I'd feed it. I'd sacrifice it to the car spider. All hail the car spider. May I feed it so the insects do not bother me while I drive. The one thing I don't want is to have a mosquito or fly go right in front of my vision while I'm driving, like, and then fucking next thing you know, rear end somebody. Nobody's gonna believe that I'm like, no, a fly distracted me. No cop's gonna buy that. They're gonna be like, nah, you were definitely texting and driving. I'm gonna write you up for that too. Because I won't open my phone to show them I was wrong. I'm not giving them police access to go through my different apps. That's the thing now. Like, if they have to prove that you were on your phone, right? If they thought you were messaging or whatever, they just how do they clock that? Do they if they go to every communication app to see if there's a timestamp of when the accident happened? Like, you can't. That's a huge. It feels like invasion of privacy. That would suck. So I'm just gonna go ahead and if they caught me and I tried telling them that a fly flew in front of my eyes and that's why I rear-ended somebody, and they were like, "No, you were texting drive." I'm just gonna be like, "Fair enough, okay," because I'm not gonna let you go through my phone. I'm not gonna try to prove that. Okay, I can't even prove that a fly flew into my ear, ear holed me while I was driving, like, fuck, and freaked out. So I can't wait for bugs to be gone. It's exciting. So I'm very optimistic. I'm being in a very optimistic mood. So looking at things in a positive light, thanks to Bluey. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. I'm seeing the positivity in all sorts of things. Like, there's always two lines of thought, right? You can go negative, you can go positive. Negative, positive. I'm trying to steer into that positivity thing. And also, like the other day, perfect example. And it makes, this actually jazzes me up, and it makes me feel good, and it gives me hope that in the future for myself, if I take care of myself. I have a neighbor. He's high 80s, in his 90s, something around there. Like, he's an older gentleman, still gets around all right, but this dude, he's a man. Okay, this is a man who is an old man who has been nothing but a man his whole life. Okay, he kind of just lives in his house, hanging out, but he's got some yard work stuff he's got to do. Now, 90 years old, you would think, right? We're just going to call him 90 just to be safe, right? You get the picture. 90 years old, right? You got fucking stumps in your backyard. You got to dig them up a little bit. You got to then use a chainsaw, cut them down. That doesn't sound like something you should do, right? You're just like, nah, I should hire somebody out to do this, Really just hire somebody and take it easy. I'll just go sit in the recliner, watch the Hawkeyes play. I'm just not gonna do this. I'm assuming he's a Hawkeye fan. If you're not, if I don't know who you are, I just assume you're probably a Hawkeye fan, even though you're wrong. But you should just be chilling, chilling and just like in his lazy boy, enjoying the golden years, right? Not this old boy. No, he's out there. He's got a spade. He's out there digging a hole around this fucking stump that's in the backyard. He's got his chainsaw out there. I walk out there and I see him. He's operating the chainsaw. He's cutting it in half, cutting it in quarters, and then he's just slowly taking chunks out, trying to get it lower than the ground so then he can rebury it or burn it or something. I don't know. I walked out there and said hello. Just was talk to him a little bit. I've talked to this neighbor a ton of times. And I was just like, well, you let me know if you need some help with this. I'll be happy to come out and give you a hand if you need help. And he goes, oh, no, it's cool. They have these fancy one-man saws now. You don't have to have two guys on the end of them anymore. I was like, hell yeah, dude. We even got still joke. That just gives me so much hope for the future. Because that's why that guy is still walking around active and feels good at 90. Because he's not outsourcing labor like that, right? On Labor Day, he's out there, chainsaw, shovel in hand, digging. Now, he's probably sore as shit today. Not saying that. Not saying it didn't take a toll. He also has a chair out there. He does about, 10 minutes of work, sits down for about 15. He spaces it out, chunks it out, but he's having a good time out there, too. He's just working hard and feeling good. And that makes me feel great, all right? Like, I that makes me know that, like, if I'm taking care of my body and doing the right things and trying to stay active. Like, you can be active well into your 90s and feel good, And that's cool as shit to me. That's an awesome thing. The negative thing, or like, if I would have not been watching Bluey this week, my negative mindset would be like, oh man, that's really shitty that he has to do that. Like, oh man, like he shouldn't want to like do that. He should no. Like, I went out and talked to him, and I got the full scoop, and he was like, nah, I don't want to do this. I'm bored. I got shit. I got something to do today. And I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's such a better way to look at it. Like, I have something to do today. And I need to remember that when I'm, like, trying to come up with chores or if there's anything else that I'm doing that, like, seems like it's going to be tough or whatever. No, I get to go do this. I have to remember that, like, I get to go do it. It's a privilege to go do things every day or like, go to work, take your dog on a walk, train a puppy. Like, I get to train a puppy. That's like, not everybody gets to do that. There's a lot of people who don't even have the disposable income to have a pet. Like, I get to have that opportunity. You know what I mean? And I just need to really remember to take that outlook and have that nice, positive spin on things. It helps a lot. That's for sure. So, thanks to Bluey, I remembered that this week. So, hell yeah. And speaking of getting older, that brings us to this week's episode. Well, we are in this week's episode. I mean, I can't talk. It brings us to this week's article that I found for this week. This comes from the New Scientist, a website. This was a thing for the mind. And I thought this was fascinating. So I just... Speaking of happiness, being positive, and getting older, I found this article. We are no longer our unhappiest during middle age, which makes me feel pretty fucking hyped because I'm heading there. I'm gonna be 34 in a little bit later this month, and I don't want to be miserable in my middle age. I want to enjoy middle age, and I'll be honest, I don't know what is technically middle age. I would assume kind of like 30s into your like 40s and 50s. No, I guess it would be in your like 30s through 40s, mid 40s. I would say that's like midlife, right? Makes sense to me. And I'll be honest, I feel like I'm the happiest I've ever been for the most part. Like, I'm not poor. I don't feel poor anymore. I'm probably still poor by the numbers. You break me down socioeconomically, I'm fucking at the bottom tier probably. But I don't feel squeezed anymore, so I feel pretty good. So I'm interested to see what this says. People are experiencing an unhappiness hump around midlife, but declining youth mental health may mean there's no longer the case. Okay. We used to get especially dissatisfied with our lives during the middle age, creating a unhappiness hump nestled between the more constant periods of youth and getting older. But that's no longer the case. This peripheral hump has now disappeared, not because people are happier in midlife, but because younger people are less happy than they used to be, says Alex Bearson of University College of London. Ah, shit. See, I was trying to find the positive in this. I was hoping that, like, middle-aged people were just like, no, life's pretty sweet. No, it turns out like that hump's gone down because the youth is sad. Shit. Well, I guess let's read on here. We find stress has been rising amongst most people under the age of 40 and rising more quickly than the lower down the age range you go. Oh, wow. So the lower it goes, the higher anxiety. So apparently people my age are very stressed. Well, I get that. I know why people are stressed. There's a ton of shit to be stressed about right about now. You throw a dart and you'll probably hit something to be stressed about. You know what I mean? But that sucks. I guess middle age is 40 then. Well, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I'm doing all right. You guys should just try writing jokes and doing a podcast no one listens to. You might feel a little happier. So we see the titling Distress Over Time with younger younger getting more and more distressed. Oh wow! Previous research based on data from 145 countries suggests that people were the happiest up to the age of 30 and after the age of 70. Okay, Jesus, that's a huge fucking gap. So for 40 years, people are just like fucking unhappy. Well, the unhappiness peaking at age 50. Similar trends even seem to apply to orangutans and chimpanzees. Oh, Jesus Christ. Even the fucking monkeys get sad from age 30 to 70. By the way, do chimpanzees live till 70? That's fucking nuts. But Bryson and his colleagues noticed that the unhappiness hump seems to have disappeared based on data from national mental health surveys in the U.S., which involved 10 million adults from 1993 to 2024 in the U.K., which looked at more than 40,000 households from 2009 to 2023. To find out that this was the case worldwide, the researchers turned to the data from the Global Mind, a mental health research project carried out since 2020 in nearly 2 million people in 44 countries, including the U.S. and UK. They found that every nation study, well, the unhappiness hump has been replaced by gradually descending lines as unhappiness declines or decreases with age. Okay, so people get more happy as they get older. So that's good then. That means we're just starting out like super unhappy as children, and then we're just like going up like, we're pretty fucking happy now. So people in the midlife are not happier than they were. Absolutely not, says Bryson. God damn it! I keep trying to spin this. See, this guy needs to watch more Bluey, and he'd feel like he was in a better headspace. If anything, middle-aged people are sort of middling. Hey, I'm a middle myself. I can't get over a feature act. I'm barely a host even. I'm barely a fucking middle act. I'm barely a host. I am straight up an open mic comic, guys. It's been brutal. Hey, if you book a show, book me. Okay, please, for the love of God. Things aren't really changing much for them. All the changing are in the lower half of the age distribution. Okay, so technically middle-aged people haven't gotten happier. It's just that the youth have gotten so much unhappier that it seems that it's fucked with the graph, and it seems like middle age is getting happier. God damn it. The new trend is strongest in the high income English-speaking countries like the UK and the US. The weakest areas of Africa with poor internet access, he says. In Tasmania, for example, there are only 32% of people who had internet in 2022. Jesus, that's crazy. Tasmania only has 32. I'm kind of jealous. Young people without internet access are significantly happier than those who did have it. I can't argue that. Man, it's brutal out there on that online service. Like, that makes all the sense. Further research could help explain those findings, says Bryson. Reducing happiness in young people could have serious exponential, it's such as increasing use of social media time, these individuals being particularly affected by isolating brought on by COVID-19 during the pandemic. I think that's a huge one. Social media and the pandemic probably played a huge factor in that, I bet. As well as a difficulty in accusing mental health care services. Difficulty in accessing mental health services, says Brian. So they don't have the access to mental health services, I guess, and they're on social media too much. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm trying to find my Bluey spin on this. And I just got to say, like, at least they're somewhat starting to, like, look into those kind of factors. I know everybody knows. I feel like everybody says it, but then we're all still so, like, addicted, like a morphine drip Two, social media. I know I've been trying to get off it recently. I know, like, everybody knows this. This isn't a groundbreaking tip or anything. But a thing I do, this office, I come in, like, and I'll leave my phone in here. I'll put it on loud in case somebody tries to call me or whatever. But I just leave it in this office at the night sometimes. Just try to leave it in here so I can hang out with the puppy and my wife and just be with them and not scrolling. And I feel like it's helped a lot. I've noticed too, we've been going to bed earlier. The puppies helped us sleep better because we can't sit on our phone and scroll, because if we have the lights on and think our phones are illuminating the room, the dog thinks we're still up, and then she'll whine in her kennel and like not actually lay down and go to sleep because she thinks that she's just being thrown in there, not going to bed. So we have to like put her in her kennel, turn off all our lights, and put our phones away and just go to sleep. So we don't have this like hour and a half time that we spend on our phones. And we've been sleeping better. Weird, huh? That's crazy. It's all not. It's like, Wade, you've read studies and stuff like that on this podcast over years stating that exact thing, and maybe that's the thing to do. You're right. Maybe I should follow the advice I put on this fucking show. It's not even advice I say. It's just stuff I read. I try to bring you guys fun stuff. You know, this was a little bit of a bummer, but I think I put a positive spin on it for you. We put that Bluey spin on it. That, by the way, that's going to be a thing on the podcast from here on out, is the Bluey spin, which is just using your imagination to create a positive outcome. And that's what we're doing here. Guys, this has been Not Worth the Time. I hope you really enjoyed the show. If you enjoyed this show, you want to go over to punandgame.com because you can check out even more cool stuff. That's right. We have this show, Not Worth the Time. We have Who Gives F with myself and Nathan. If you want to hear me yap every week rather than bi-weekly, go check out Who Gives F. That comes out every Wednesday. And guys, if you want to watch me struggle to read this shit, also see clips of me doing stand-up, see clips of Who Gives a F to see if you even like it, you want to go to youtube.com, search Comic Wade Taylor on YouTube, and you can watch all that stuff. We put out the video episodes of this show, not Who Gives a F. I have clips of stand-up, sketches, all sorts of cool stuff on YouTube. So Comic Wade Taylor on YouTube. Would appreciate the like and follow. Also, thank you to all the people who's been subscribing. The support's been great lately. Lots of people listening, watching. Can't thank you enough. A lot of people liking the videos. I really appreciate every single one of you. It's really cool. Like, I put out this stuff because I like doing it, and I've been putting it out forever just because I like doing it. So the fact that people are now liking it and want to watch it, it makes me feel good. And I'm glad that you like watching it. So I appreciate it. If you want to support the show and support the website, and it helps with bringing all this great content that we do, you can go to punandgame.com, and we have the Punting Game shop, guys. The Punting Game shop is right there on the tab. Click there. You got t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all sorts of cool stuff to represent your favorite shows here at punandgame.com. And so forget to use promo code NWTPOD. That's NWT Pod, and get you free shipping at checkout. I keep all the prices as low as possible. I think we make like $2.50 to $3 on shirts or hoodies. Like, I fucking hate high price merch, guys. I've been to concerts. I've seen how much stuff is. I've seen band t-shirts for like $60-$70. That's ridiculous, and I don't want to do that. I understand also, I don't have the pull for that now. But even like later on in life, if something happened or I somehow could, I wouldn't want to charge you that because I fucking hate that. So I don't want to take advantage of people. So I keep the prices as low as possible and try to get you free shipping with that promo code NWTPOD pod. That's NWT pod, and that gets you free shipping at checkout. So guys, once again, can't thank you enough for listening to the show. I appreciate all the support. I'm Wade Taylor. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. And remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do.